in here because we want to talk to him. I hope it's not for one last time. We were just saying, lovely interview you just did with Craig. What are your emotions right now, Daniel, after you did your old mate a favour there in Max Verstappen, didn't you, by nicking a point for fastest lap?
Part of me is, I don't mean this against Lando, but part of me is hoping Max wins by 1 point because I think I guaranteed myself a really nice Christmas present,
yeah.
if so. But no, it's just, I think obviously, yeah, it's with a little bit of Red Bull in mind, but yeah, maybe just to have one last crack at doing a fast one, if it is to be it.
Is it to be it, Daniel?
Possibly. You know, I have to acknowledge that it's been a little bit of a race by race situation, and I would have obviously loved the weekend to have gone better. It didn't, so yeah, I have to be prepared for yeah, this maybe being it.
And how are you feeling in general then? You're like, okay, well, it's been a great time, and if that is the case, then fine, or how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, look, I do feel, let's say, at peace with it. You know, it's at some point it'll come for all of us, and it's just, you know, I think also you have to, yeah, I tried to get back into Red Bull. It didn't work out. So then I also have to say, okay, what else am I ultimately doing here and trying to achieve, you know? And I think when you experience the highs of winning, you can only fight for P10 for so long. You know, there is nothing like that feeling. And if that no longer is possible, and if it is becoming a little harder, you know, I think that's the truth. I was able to do some moments of maybe greatness this year, but it was trickier to do it week in, week out. And maybe that's 35. Maybe that's the competition's getting better and better. Who knows?
It's obviously a difficult environment to be in, and every race not necessarily knowing. But that said, is that an environment you want to stay in? Do you want to look elsewhere, or do you want to keep yourself in a Formula One paddock to ultimately get back in that Red Bull?
I don't know. It's definitely. I mean, it's exhausting. we all know that it is exhausting, and I don't know. Look, if this is it, and if things move on without me, I think firstly I'll just give myself time to figure out what's next. You know, I think I'm also, you know, grateful for the career, and getting to Formula One was a dream, let alone being here for over a decade and having the chance to fight for wins. So yeah, I don't want to look back and be, oh, poor me. You know, I think it's been great, and maybe it's something different. Maybe I go on and, I don't know, climb mountains or something.
We didn't want to be preemptive, but you talk about looking back. We put together a bit of a highlights reel of some of the best moments on and off track here, Daniel. Tell us what memories come flooding back when you see these.
Sometimes it felt a lot more effortless. I remember, actually, it was here in 2014. That was, you know, my breakthrough year, and so Jackie Stewart, sorry, Lando. So Jackie Stewart caught me in the lobby, and I remember he said something to me. He goes, "Look, if you ever want to talk, let me know, because it won't always be as easy as it seems." And you know, he was kind of just preparing me for the lows. You know, I was on such a high, and yeah, okay, I didn't win the championship that year, but everything just felt easy. You know, I'm exaggerating, obviously not easy, but so when he told me, I was like, I'm good. Like, what are you talking about? I'm not struggling. I'm not intimidated by anyone. Like, you know, what is this? But even the following year, 2015, was a tough year, and I immediately realized what he was talking about. And I think never get too high, try not to get too low, and just try to ride the wave. But yeah, like just keep your feet on the ground.
Can I keep you here as well, because this is Max speaking about you in the pen right now. Maybe you get a hint on the Christmas present.
Probably won't be just 1 point, but Daniel helped you out. Maybe a little goodbye present from him. He's been a good figure in Formula One, and if it is his last race, that's maybe a little intervention that people will remember.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel and I, we go, of course, a long time, way back, and you know, we have always had a great relationship, great friendship, a lot of respect for each other as well. So he's just a great guy, you know. I get on well. It just clicks. You know, there's no fake person. You know, we just get along, and easygoing. We like that. He will for sure be remembered as a very fast driver. I think everyone knows that, but also as a great guy in the paddock.
There you go, he summed up. Great guy, one of the best in the paddock. Is he you've remained really close, haven't you, Max, over the years?
Yeah, like it's a funny thing, you know, because you, as teammates, you just know each other more, you know. You spend so much time together, you see all the data, you see everything, and from a professional point of view, it's like you can get inside each other's head and know, you know, I got to know how he thinks and he knows how I think, and I don't know, so it's a weird, like, intimacy. And obviously then, you know, after my Red Bull stint, he then went on and won championships, and I don't know, I think we had, at the time we had such a rivalry, but also I think we really enjoyed it, and it became such a respect. And I think Max has grown into a very, obviously great driver, but a very mature young man, and he's always been very appreciative of our friendship and supportive. And even after Japan this year, I was getting quite a lot of stick, and he was one of the only guys that sent me a text and said, "Mate, keep your head up. We know what you're capable of. Don't listen to the noise." And respect and appreciate him a lot.
That's nice to hear that you've become friends after initially it was obviously a bit more difficult being teammates. Can I ask, speaking about Max, you left Max and Red Bull. It was your choice, huh? And that was just before the big period of domination. Is that perhaps a little regret that you would then have also in hindsight, or actually all that you're happy with all your decisions?
Look, I can certainly look back on it and say, okay, I think at the time, obviously in my head, everything made sense, but, you know, was it the best decision of my career? Of course, you could argue, no, it wasn't. So, look, I'm okay with that. It's one of those ones. Also, there's no guarantee that if I stayed, you know, I would have done amazing and won this and that. So you never know. But of course, you know, I'm not going to stand here and say that was the greatest decision of my life. But you live and you learn, and obviously it eventually brought me back into the family. And I don't want to look back and be kind of sad or bitter about anything. Everything, I guess, happens for a reason, so it's all good.
Daniel, if this is to be goodbye, just from everyone, from Sky F1 and from all our viewers, it's been an absolute pleasure having you around, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
There we go. Cheers. We'll let him